Hello, and welcome
What?
to the Knowledge Boy
What?
podcast. What's that? A different intro?
What?
That's right.
Hello.
Yeah. And it's with me and...
Me.
Yeah.
Well, are we still doing that?
I mean, apparently. I were hoping you'd add something different, but you didn't.
Well, I wasn't expecting a new intro.
I wasn't really a new one, I just didn't put a lot of thought
You said
into it.
hello.
Hello.
We never say that.
Heidi hi. We'll be the one on next
We're not
week's.
that formal. We don't say hello to people.
Sorry, salut. The next one which will be used.
Yo.
Yo. We can't get away with yo.
Might be able.
I can't even use a yo-yo because I've got to say the damn word twice. I'll be beaten in the street by children and shit on by animals. Anyway, hope you're all well. That's the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in.
This is a great start.
It is a great start. We're filming this at 5 to 4, which is basically tea time in England.
It's not.
For some
You
people,
eat
the
at
tea
ridiculous times and I eat at 6.
ridiculous times. About 7:30.
8:30.
Well, I've had my tea a few times at 8:30. I sometimes finish work at 8:30.
The only time I eat at 7:30, 8 is if I'm at a restaurant.
Maybe I eat at a lot of restaurants.
And even then, I always have the bread like way before my starter comes out.
Yeah,
so I'll be
everybody
that
does
hungry.
though. The bread is a key part of the meal.
Yeah.
Mm.
And even if they don't give you butter, I'll just eat dry bread.
Yeah, but I at them places that don't give you butter. Like, what am I, a monster? Am I an animal?
And I'm just there. I've already finished it.
You're there with the basket on your head. More! Because that's how you signify you want more bread. You put the empty basket on top of your melon. Yeah. So the reason we're doing this a bit later today is because I had to work because, I don't get paid for this.
And it's thrown my life off the rails. I've just been sat all day doing nothing, not saying words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also, I've written a script for a video, but because I've had literally no time to actually make said video, I'm going to have to re-edit the script, so it'll be out at some point. I'm not going to say when, because I'm a liar. I'm a pathological liar when it comes to making announcements. There's going to be a video that's a bit different. Soonish.
That I don't even know
At some point within the next 6 months, there will be a new video.
I'm part of the making of these videos.
I mean,
I don't know about it.
Yeah, we do have to. I would like to stress, it's not just me making shit, then Dylan's suddenly surprised at what's going on.
Well, it is.
Well, no, because I do show you it, and we both have to greenlight said things.
Well, yeah. But you announce it on Sean, that's when I find out.
Oh, yeah, and then I'll show you it after, and then if you think it's shit, then I have to go back on next week as a pathological liar, making another uncalled for announcement.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go to AA, Announcements Anonymous, just like get up, hi, I'm Johnny, and I'm really enjoying this part because I'm announcing something, and I just can't stop announcing things.
I might not even be called Johnny. I don't know, I may have announced that 10 years ago and then forgotten.
Yeah, in fairness, we did announce that we were doing a bit where we wouldn't reveal my name, then 3.5 seconds later you said my name, which, that was phase 1, and then I loved the feeling of being the bastard who lies to the, tens of people that listen to this show. The tens of people are angry, Dylan. There's a mob of about 9.5 folk.
What happened to the other half?
He's very short. Yeah. So, in the news, that's right. We're actually doing something that's
Are we?
culturally relevant now.
Aye.
It's not planned. It's just a talking point. Idris Elba as the next Bond is a big thing at the minute.
Yeah, a lot of people are angry. And then a lot of normal people are going, well, have you read the books?
Yeah, it never that's the thing. When everyone goes, you can't have a black Bond. Well, where in the books does it specify otherwise? And if so, it's an adaptation of the book, so it could be whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's not a continuing story.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a theory going around that it's a code name.
Story.
Yeah. Oh, look, a giant dragon that's fluffy, isn't it?
In 007, his code name.
Well, yeah, which kind of bugs me when people go, oh, James Bond's just a code name. Yeah, that's why they gave him one with numbers, you fucking cretin. Sit over there and eat your kale. That's right.
I don't think anyone who's seen Bond eats kale, because there's people who eat
exactly,
kale.
They haven't seen it, so they're saying. Yeah. In fairness, I mean, the old ones are. He literally just drinks and has sex with women.
It isn't.
I mean, we're not saying it's not a fun lifestyle to have, but it's not a nice one to depict.
Yeah. That's fair.
I mean, if you think like that, the classic Bond, when you've been drinking water, you've missed your face. You've missed your mouth. That's impressive. That's good, is that?
Hey, I now have a wet leg.
Well, So while Dylan, he's mastered it. Dylan has now drunk water. Anyway, as Dylan tries to come to terms with something, our Neanderthal ancestors mastered, drinking. Like if you look at like the old Bond films, like the strongest female character who is a badass, right, is literally named Pussy Galore. Now, not a great start, Bond. Let's be honest.
No.
Yeah, and Sean Connery, the icon of Bond, arguably the person who you always think of as James Bond.
I prefer Roger Moore.
I don't, because in my personal opinion, he's a creepy lizard man.
He is.
Well, he was. He's dead now, so that seems a bit mean. But I didn't like him as Bond. Plus, he was in some shit ones.
He was creepy.
Die Another Day, when that man literally turns into a balloon and explodes.
Yeah, but
That's right, yes. Yeah. And he runs across some crocodiles.
Yes.
Because crocodiles don't they usually nicely align themselves as ladders to get across? Go on.
No, you just torn my argument apart. I was going to say I used to like them as a kid. And now it's like, yeah, they are pretty bad.
I think they kind of just gave up halfway through making them. And then Pierce Brosnan was cool as Bond. He was in the Russia one was good that he was in. And I can never remember the name of it.
Russia with Love.
No, that's the Connery one. That's what I mean. That's the one I always think of.
Is in Die Another Day.
That's the bad one.
And he's in... what's the other one?
Da.
Living Like Die is in, I think.
No,
I think that's an earlier one.
That's Roger Moore. He's Living Let Die. That's not a bad one.
I like Living Let Die.
That's all right. Plus, it's got Wings did the fucking theme songs. That's not bad. Yeah. But I do quite like Bond. Every time one comes out, me and my dad always go to see it. It's like a tradition we've had.
I just wait for it to go.
It's since Casino Royale. We've done that. We've gone to see the Bond movie in the pictures.
I just wait for him to be on VD and then watch him.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Spectre yet, actually.
Right. Me and my dad loved it because we like Bond films where they are a bit cheesy.
Because you can't have a not cheesy Bond film.
If it's overly serious, then you get...
It's not Bond. It's just any other action film.
Yeah, if it's overly serious, then you get Casino Royale, which was... It was like... to say it was dry was nice. It's like replacing your Weetabix with Ryvita and putting no milk on it. It's just not fun. Like, it's a bit long. No, Quantum of Solace. That shit. I liked Casino Royale. Quantum of Solace is what I'm thinking of.
That's the one after, isn't it?
Yeah. You know how shit it is? I completely forgot it and went straight to Casino Royale. Nothing happens and it's really boring. Not good.
Yeah, I thought Casino Royale was like semi-decent one.
Yeah, it was alright, yeah. And then Skyfall's good. It's just good. My dad didn't like it. He thought it was too morbid, which it's not. It's
jolly, but
yeah, it's not jolly. But that bit when he gets to the old when he gets the DB
mansion house bit.
Was it when he gets the old Aston?
When he get I
think it's like the DB4 or something. DB5, yeah.
5.
And he gets that, and then they flip the lights on. I'm like, fucking yes! Only person to watch Skyfall and at some point go, yes! He makes a really bad joke about guns and gadgets. Got to have a bad joke in about.
Press the button.
Don't press that button or you'll get ejected. And then he has that cool bit when she's giving him jip, and he flips up that cool thing in the gear stick and pretends to eject her.
It's good.
Brilliant. And then Spectre is... a lot hammier and it's basically like brings the campness back of Bond. Like there's a building literally explodes that he's stood on and he looks like he's going to fall to his death and lands on a comfy settee, and that's in the first 5 minutes.
I can't wait to, because I've been thinking about watching it for ages because I haven't seen it yet.
Because he's sort of falling and then he bounces up on the settee and looks at it and goes, nice, and it's like, yes, because he manages to somehow luckily survive and he's still cool about it. And people didn't like it. There is like a lot of blood pot.
We say words on the internet as a pastime, but we can't say words.
No, neither of us can speak English. Anyway, enough with the Spanglish. There is I think Christopher Waltz was made to be a Bond villain because that dude can play some creepy characters.
I don't know who that is.
Little German man who's been the bad guy in most films.
Right.
He's if you think of a film, he's probably the bad guy in it, and he was German as well. Inglourious Bastards, you've seen? No, he plays Django Unchained.
No.
All right, okay. Tarantino likes using him as a cool German guy who shoots people. He's really good actor. And he was in it. He's very good in it. But it's a good film, and then they try add too much plot in it. which I think James Bond films are good because they're usually quite simple in the plot.
Yeah, you go to wherever the bad guys are, shoot people,
Yeah.
cut away in a hotel with a woman, and then go back and beat the bad guy.
Exactly. But they tried to make it very, very twisty, which I don't think Bond's ever been good at twist. Because it's a secret agent. The whole point is he knows things. He's gone to find out.
You don't need to twist anything because he shows up, gets the job done, goes home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what like spy movies are. Like there's never twists, there's reveals, and they try to add a lot of twists in, and it kind of takes the fun out of it. Mainly because you can see it coming from 300 mile away with one eye closed, and the other one, with quite a lot of glaring.
Okay.
Basically, you can see it coming a mile off.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder knew it were happening. That's how far away you could see it. I'll stop now.
I'm going to say, the cow is empty. There is no more milk.
That horse is dead. Please stop flogging it. But yeah, so Idris Elba's going to be the next Bond, hopefully. Obviously, Daniel Craig's...
I'd say hopefully,
I
like Idris.
Yeah, Daniel Craig's got another one coming out, despite the fact saying he wanted to kill himself after he'd filmed it.
He's a bit tubby now.
I mean, he's lost... I think he's just bigger.
He's lost muscle mass. He's no longer a low percent of body.
I think they've finished filming it now, so he's having his downtime. And
because I've seen him pictures of him recently, and he's put a bit of time. He's got a belly now, whereas he used to be chiseled.
Yeah, when he had his tight little shorts on in Casino Royale, coming out of the sea.
Yes,
and most people in Britain swooned. Probably even my dad did. And he's straighter than like iron boards that keep bridges up.
Or a ruler.
A ruler would have worked much better.
A ruler would have been the obvious choice.
Yeah. You see, my brain went, don't say something that anyone's ever seen. Or paid attention to.
Straight as a steel girder that holds up the inside of a bridge.
Don't call me that ever again.
They then put the concrete around.
Analogies have always been my forte. So Idris... I'd love him as Bond, personally. I think he'd be really good. I think
it'd be great. It'd be cool.
I love Idris Elba, really good actor. Speaking of which, his new film Yardy's coming out. Yardy.
Oh, Yardy.
Yeah, it's about Jamaican gangsters in London.
Oh, that could be good.
Mm-hmm. And apparently it's a good film.
Who's seen it?
Like reviewers and stuff. Sarcastic piece of shit. I have. Idris invited me. This episode is sponsored by Idris Elba.
Please, Idris.
Yeah. He's a cool dude, I like him. Luther was brilliant. Luther was my favourite thing. And then he was in, I don't know, like
I watched
The Dark.
an episode of Luther and enjoyed it. I do that a lot.
Yeah,
I watched the first episode of Narcos when it first came out, loved it, and then didn't watch it.
I haven't seen Narcos. But do you know who has? Idris Elba. We're getting back on track now.
He probably has.
Yeah, probably.
The amount of Sky box sets he watches.
He watches a lot. I don't know how he's time. Right, to direct films, be in them, be James Bond, speak to the press, and watch all them box sets. He loves a binge. Does cheeky Idris Elba?
He just saves time. He'll watch all his box sets and do the Sky adverts at the same time.
And then there's that one where he's answering his shoe. Oh, Idris, you comedic gem. Anyway, classic Idris. Yeah, but he said in like an interview with one of the papers, because
one of them.
I saw. Right,
no one cares which.
No, it was one of the Sunday ones. So one of the fascist papers that lies to you. Other than I, which is actually quite good, and it is definitely in no way left leaning. Apparently, it's down the middle of the road, and it's not got an opinion. Apparently, which is bollocks. Yeah.
No. Allegedly.
Allegedly, it's bollocks. I mean, I if I do read a paper, it's I or independent, and I completely get it's leftist bullshit, because it just is.
It is. That's why I take an interest in it.
Exactly, because I can at least look at it and go, that's funny. Whereas when the right-wing papers lie and go, fascists up to their old tricks again.
Pretty much, yeah.
Communists didn't lie. They embellished the truth to make it seem more more interesting.
Twisted it a little bit.
Yeah, because he doesn't love a good plot twist, even when it's with facts. Anyway, so he said that he wanted to be Bond, but he wants people to give him the job of Bond, which I think is GM who make the Bond movies. He wants them to give him the job as Bond.
Who are GM?
The company who make the films.
Yes, but who are GM?
They're a movie studio. The Lion.
Oh, MGM.
Yeah. Yeah, but for some reason on the page they've gone GM because they're apparently pally with him. I don't forget now.
Okay, cool.
So he wants them
That's
to give
confusing.
him. Yeah, he wants them to give him the job as Bond only if they think he's a good actor, not so he can be like the token black Bond, which is right, really.
Yeah, make him audition. Don't just be like, oh, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Ethnicity. We like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, like I know equality is so in right now, but like give it to the right guy. I think Idris Elba would be a great Bond.
Force it. Yeah. You can't force equality because then it's not, is it?
Yeah, I think one thing we will get is because I think there's rumours going around that there's a Luther series 4 coming out, which I'd like. I think it might be 5. I'm pretty sure it's 4 though.
So
at the end of the year.
If there's another Luther, it's going to be a while for Bond then.
No, because it's in like the rumoured it's coming out like this year, and he wouldn't be playing Bond or acting in any Bond things till at least like the end of next year.
Well, no, that's what I mean though, because like episode acting, which isn't the right term, but I can't remember what the right term is. It takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
and you're away filming for a lot of months.
Well, apparently it was rumoured that it was coming out at the end of this year, like November time. Like I think that's usually when Luther's on. There is those rumours started like beginning of this year. My sister told me. Shout out, Soph. She keeps tabs on Luther things.
Cheers, Soph.
Yeah. Who needs researchers when you've got a sister who's in love with the main actor? There you go, genius. Yeah, but I'd love to see more Luther. And I think a lot of people are thinking we'd get basically like in James Bond, but he'd almost be playing the same character as Luther. I don't think so. I think he would be a very different Bond to what we've seen. I think he'd be suave because he can play suave. He can be debonair.
He could wear any suit.
And look cool.
Any suit.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen him in the tuxes. He looks the part.
He looks amazing in a tux.
He does. That should be...
You get a white blazer, black jeans, little bow tie, black trousers, bow tie on Idris Elba. He's going to look amazing.
Indeed he is. Because that's the thing. I think that's rule 1. You have to look cool in a tux. You have to rock the tux.
And he does.
And he rocks the tux.
And he's also good at shooting people in things.
He is very good. He's good at the action scenes. You've seen he can do that. In Luther, he can play like realistic action scenes.
Yeah.
Which I like. Like Luther, I think one of the first TV shows I've seen where like if a fight happens on screen, even the guy who wins looks like he's been battered. Because you've just had to scrap for half an hour. You're going to look shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I hope he gets it. I really do hope he gets it. I think it could be good.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Who are the other people in running?
Tom Hiddleston, which in fairness, not a bad shout either. Good actor.
He'd be a better bad guy.
To be fair,
he's another one of them who, if he's a bad guy, he's going to nail it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen The Night Manager? I've only seen parts of it, but
no.
It's a undercover police / spy series he was in based on a book I think of the same name,
right.
Where he has to pretend to be a manager of a hotel when these like wrong-uns arrive there. And when he was in that...
Scallywags.
Yes, scallywags. Thank you, Dylan. All the swashbuckling listeners at home will really enjoy that one. Redbeard will be pleased. Anyway, all of these, bad people are in this hotel. And when he was that role, he just you could see him being Bond. But I think Idris would just be a better fit, genuinely.
Yeah.
I think Daniel Craig's not the youngest Bond, but like now.
He's not the oldest either.
No, Roger Moore was fucking too old
Ancient.
when he got the job. He was like pushing 50.
Yeah.
And then he was like, he must have been...
I think it was late 60s, 70s-ish when he...
I know Sean Connery was in a few when he was in his 60s and it looked ridiculous.
Yeah, and Roger Moore...
He was definitely in his 60s.
It was Bond for a while.
Yeah, too long. Because
the later ones were pretty naff.
Because he took over after the crap Connery ones when he was a bit old, and then they were all right. And then I like Dalton, even though he was only, I believe, in 2.
I don't.
Did you not like Timothy Dalton as Bond?
No, I don't. I don't know if it's even the actors at this point. It's just some of the films I didn't like. Like the Pierce Brosnan films, I've got naught against him. I just didn't like the films.
The one where his first one as Bond is really good because it works and he's cool. Like that bit where he crashes through.
The world is never enough.
Yes!
I remembered, guys.
The world is never enough. Good trivia. You'd be good in a pub quiz about Bond for one question.
Yay.
But I love that one when he crashes through that wall in Russia in a tank, jumps up, redoes his bow tie and then sets off and you're like, that's Bond. That is a Bond moment right there.
Yeah.
That's getting the character.
Is that his first one? He did GoldenEye as well, didn't he?
Yeah, that was alright.
Great game.
Mm-hmm.
I never played... Like everyone always
Was GoldenEye
says,
actually a film? Or was it just the game?
No, I swear it was a film.
Yeah, we could be wrong.
Ah,
On our pop culture and film
on this
podcast.
pop culture and film podcast, we are often wrong about pop culture and films.
I mean, saying often wrong, that's being generous.
Right, 99% of the time we are wrong.
Yeah, we do get some stuff wrong. We're not good at remembering names.
But everyone's always on about, GoldenEye on N64. Like, I played on original
PS2.
Xbox.
I played it on
personally.
PS2. Yeah,
It was
same
great.
gen. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a very, very
graphics on N64 versus the N64.
Yeah, I enjoyed that game. It was to be fair, a lot of the Bond games have been good, apart from the more recent ones.
There's recent ones.
Yeah.
I thought they'd stop doing them.
Yeah, well, they did. By more recent ones, I mean, I think Quantum of Solace was the last one to have a game.
Yeah,
on
but
the
that was
360.
2010.
Maybe before. Yeah, but
Between 9 and 11.
Exactly, but the games were
Right.
crap. I think most games based off of films tend to be rubbish, except the Spider-Man games. The first two, Spider-Man 2 was brilliant.
Did you ever play the Ultimate Spider-Man?
No.
I love it.
Is it good?
Yeah, you get far enough into the story.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I remember it. You have to unlock him, but you can play as Venom.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you have to eat people to sustain yourself, or just eat things, but people give you the most
Oh,
to sustain yourself, and you
cool.
just
That could be good.
It is well cool.
I'd
I
like
used to
that,
love
yeah.
it. Like, it's all well and good just going around New York as Spider-Man, saving people, beating up bad guys, and such.
Yeah.
But then you can switch and be Venom and eat people.
Well, that seems entertaining.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's like the best Spider-Man game I played.
Oh, nice.
And I'm hoping the new one changes my mind.
Yeah, the Homecoming does look really, really good. And after the gaming segment of the show, for ones I can actually get involved in. Because we haven't really talked about gaming in a while, have we? On here.
No, but while we're on Spider-Man, before you do that, did you ever play Friend or Foe?
No.
That I had on the PS2. And I'm not sure what its acclaim was. I don't know if people liked it or not, but I personally did. You basically went through the game defeating all the bosses, which were like just the main bad guys from the Spider-Man universe. But once you defeated them, you could use them in the missions and control them.
Well, that seems good.
So, like, once you beat Dr. Octopus, you can be Dr. Octopus and use all his abilities and stuff.
That seems better than a lot of games.
But it was really repetitive. Like, the missions building up to the bosses were just, you go and beat these
quite grindy.
people up in different settings, basically. But I still found it fun at the time.
Yeah. I had it wasn't the best game. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles PS2 game.
Never played it.
It was not really. There was no real plot. We unlocked like different arenas, and you could play as like one of the turtles, and like you had to. I think like you were all together, but you had to like help each other out, and you just had like constant waves of like bad guys.
Like that.
But like they always like jump out of the sewer, which was really cool. So then you got to like beat the shit out of them. And then if one of your party gets like killed, then you have to kill a certain number, and then they come back out the sewer and help you fight.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, it was like a very early like arcade fighting game, but it was pretty fun to play. Yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming does look good though. Have you seen the latest trailer for it?
No.
Oh, it was good. It was really, really good. Like, I mean, obviously the graphics are gonna look amazing because they will. But I had sad gaming news though.
What?
Spyro's been delayed till November. But that's on every time one delay comes in, then another, and the next thing you know it'll be next year, and I really don't want it to be that. So it's not coming out September 23rd anymore. It's coming out in November. 2 month delay, and I'm worried.
Would you rather it were delayed or shit?
Yeah, that's true. In fairness, the people who are remaking it said they don't want it to be a rush process. They want the game to be good and complete, which I'm glad about.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, that was shit. They gave every single game the same jumping engine when it didn't have it in the first place because the game's changed.
They did I think it was the same jumping engine from game 3
They
across all 3.
Yeah, which
so
was
like
different.
everyone was saying that the bridge in the second game. I can't remember what the level was called, but you know the bridge where you have to jump across it, and no one could do it.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
The gaming engine.
Yeah, it's not designed for it.
The jumping mechanics weren't designed, and therefore.
Yeah, I did enjoy it still though because it was
I didn't even get.
Oh no!
Oh what?
Speak louder.
Is it doing this again?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Hold on a moment. We'll be right back. Sorry, quick cut there. We were talking about gaming, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Spyro's been delayed, so I'm a bit sad about that. But I'm not depressed about it, because if it was like a longer delay, then that means they've got to restart it. Well, they're obviously just fixing few bugs, hopefully, and the game will be out in November. So I'll get it. Probably at Christmas I'll get the game, when I have a bit of cash.
It's an alright compromise.
Yeah, I don't mind that, as long as it's a good game, because I did love the Spyro games as a kid. I'm not hugely into gaming, really. I never really.
I never play the games. That's I read up on them and I think this will be amazing. And then it's like same price as all games always have been, and I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you're definitely much more in the know with me on it, because I don't.
I'm in the know, but only from what I've read. That's the thing. I can't give opinions on most of the games that I've read about, because I just can't afford to play them.
Yeah. Well, recently I've been watching a lot of like documentaries on like music and film. I watched a good one last night. It's Mark Gatiss, who I love him. He's like one of my idols. He was the guy who did League of Gentlemen. He wrote and starred in that. He's also wrote a few episodes of Doctor Who and been in those. He was I think joint head writer of Sherlock and was in Sherlock. So he's been in most TV.
Something good.
Yeah, he's been in most TV things that I absolutely love. So he's an absolute legend. And he's got a show. It's fairly old, but I found it. It's called the Brief History of Horror, and he goes through going classic horror. And I've just watched the classic horror one, and that is really good, because my favourite horror films are like the really old ones. Because yes, I'm a fucking film nerd, and I enjoy black and white films every now and again.
I don't.
Like the original Dracula, and I liked what he said about it. Despite the fact there's no blood, still very creepy. Never blood. You don't even see his fangs, but it's really fucking creepy.
To be fair, that adds another level.
Yeah.
If you never see his fangs, and it's all like on an unseen, that can add to that. Yeah. Yeah,
because every time he's about to do anything, it's like his face is slowly zooming in towards the camera, which is like perceived in like other shots as like someone's neck or someone's face, and you can just hear like a slight scream as he's like slowly
that
doing
to
it.
Me, is creepy.
It's very, very.
It's
creepy.
Not like Saw. It's actually creepy.
Yeah.
It's not just out and out gore.
Yeah, because I don't like those films, because it's just like, I don't want to see that. I think sometimes it's good, but if you overdo it in a film.
I watched part of the Saw films up to when they put the helmets on and it crushes your head. And then I was like, nope, I'm turning this off.
Yeah, I am squeamish, and I don't think you are.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, that's just too much. There's nothing enjoyable about it. Yeah, but I love like a classic like horror movie. Like one of my favourite films is Psycho, because Psycho is bleeding brilliant. It's not even long.
I just can't do horror.
Hour and 20 minutes. It is. It's not like frightening, but it's a good thriller, I'd say, rather than a horror. It is good. But like in that documentary we're talking about like the classic like horror films like Frankenstein and Dracula and stuff. Like like the guy who played Frankenstein, the director, was just sat in a diner, saw a guy, walked up to him, and this is the genuine quote. He said, "Your face has great potential." Now that is a very nice way of saying you're ugly as sin. You're going to play Frankenstein, but he's got like quite the guy who played in Boris Karloff. Not an ugly guy, but he's got really strong facial features.
So you can just do a bit of makeup and it looks
and like the makeup design's like really good. But it was the first like design with like practicality in mind, like for the plot. Like his head is really square because is
Will and E Frankenstein?
Yes. It's because it's another man's brain in someone's skull, so they've had to make room for it. Like the bolts in his neck, people just think they're for the head. No, they're the electrodes that reanimate him. Like
reanimate.
And then the hands are sewed on because it's obviously not his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how it all fits together.
Jumpstart him.
Well, because he's a corpse. He's just bits of dead body.
Yeah, so it reanimates him. So they literally get some jump leads and wang them on balls.
Well, basically, yes. Long and short of it, yeah, Frankenstein's monster is that.
Gets jump started every now and then.
Yeah, but it is good. Like I think like the original's really good.
Like Frankenstein's it's just everyone knows of Frank. But obviously I knew it were a corpse and that, but I don't know the full backstory.
It's literally just a scientist who wanted to play God and make a person. Like the way the film starts, like people hated it because he's literally digging up a coffin. That's how it starts.
So he finds a corpse,
finds corpses.
Oh yeah,
and
and then
makes
sews
a
them
bomb.
all together.
Yeah, and then sends electricity through it, and then some chemical science mumbo jumbo, and then boom.
And then it goes around and terrorizes.
No.
No?
No. The whole point of the film is, if you watch it, everyone does think, oh, he's the monster. The whole point is...
But it's Frankenstein. That's the monster.
Yeah, the Frankenstein's the monster. The guy who made him.
Not Frankenstein's monster, but Frankenstein.
Yeah, the people are the monsters because they don't give him a chance. And he's frightened of fire. So when people come to see him in a dark place, they have a torch on fire. And it makes him scared, so he throws them literally away because he's frightened. And then they kill him because he's...
So they actually try and make you root for Frankenstein's
Yeah,
monster.
but but people who watch shit and haven't paid attention, like, oh yeah, he's a monster, he's evil. But the point is, he's not. People are evil.
Literally all I've seen is like reference to, and like you see a picture of Frankenstein, you're like, that's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Well, but obviously, some people know the difference between Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster. Mm-hmm. But I never saw it or anything of it.
I genuinely would
so
recommend you give it a watch.
About it.
And you know what I recommend the viewers do? Tune in next week. Because we'll be talking about more random shit. See, that was tied up nice and neat. Cheers for watching. We do appreciate it. We got a few more subscribers last week. Yeah, which I'd say thanks to them. Thank you. We got a few more. It was nice. You told me we got a few more.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember.
And also shout out to a friend of the channel, Gameface HD, better known as Ed. He's better known as Gameface HD. Cheers for your support. Is it 19,000 subs, which is a big deal.
Go over there and drop him a subscribe as well.
Yeah, you should do. He's shouted us out on Twitter, which was really nice. We never asked him to do it. It's really nice of him. So cheers, Ed. That was good of you. Yeah. And sorry, this bit's sort of been stitched on the end of the show, but yeah. So thank you very much to your boy Ed, and thanks to everyone who's stayed listening, because it's nice. It's nice to know that we're not just screaming into the void. I do that on a night before I go to sleep. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in.
He does.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Dylan watches Mrs. Sleep, you cretin. So we'll see you next week. Stay informed. Tiddle pip.